Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we are talking about Mission Impossible 2. The Reckoning. No, wait, that's later.
Nope, that's...
Hey, Tristan, how you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good. Just trying to get by one day at a time. You know how it is.
Heck yeah, I do.
How you doing?
I'm good. Have some music ventures that I'm sure we'll talk about in a later time once they're more solidified, but I'm excited. I'm excited
For you.
Oh, yeah. So, let's go ahead and talk about this film. It is directed by John Woo.
Woo.
Produced by Tom Cruise and Paula Wagner. Screenwritten by... the story was written by Brennan Braga and Ronald D. Moore, and then the screenplay was written by Robert Towne. Distributed by Paramount Pictures. It was produced by Paramount Pictures and the Cruise-Wagner Productions. It was rated PG-13, action, adventure, mystery, and thriller. Released May 24th, 2000. After Y2K.
We survived. We made it.
Budget was $125 million around. It grossed $215 million in the U.S. and Canada, and worldwide $546 million. So again, another financial success.
It was the highest grossing film of that year.
Wow. Yeah.
And the highest grossing Mission Impossible film until Ghost Protocol, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that says something. You know what, though? They did a really good job promoting the film because this was 24 years ago. I was 12. No. Yeah, I was 12. And I still remember most of the promotion because Mission Impossible... that's the name of the movie. Metallica. Metallica had their song, and that was all over MTV.
Yep.
And they had a bunch of promotional stuff with like fast food restaurants and stores and different things like that. And it was pretty invasive. Like, I don't know I doubt it was the first time that had occurred, but it felt like the start of what is more common practice today.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was huge.
It was the first time Metallica made a song specifically for a movie.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it at all. I just realized there's an error in here, so I'm going to fix that. How unprofessional. Alrighty. Yeah. And Limp Bizkit did the Alrighty. Starring Tom Cruise, Dougray Scott, Thandiwe Newton, Richard Roxburgh. Is that how you pronounce that?
I'm going to say with the GH. Yeah, we're going to go with Night at the Roxbury.
John Polson, Brendan Gleeson, Rade, Šerbedžija. I think it's Šerbedžija. I watched an interview where the interviewer said it, Rade Šerbedžija, and he was like, "How'd I do?" And he was like, "You did pretty good." And Ving Rhames. Yeah. Classic Ving Rhames. And now, Recap Rewind. We transition into the Recap Rewind, where one of us gives you, the audience, a recap of the film in our own quote-unquote creative way. And this week, it has fallen on me. And so, audience and Tristan.
Yeah.
because you haven't read this or know what this is, so this can be a disaster, and I'm ready for it.
Much like two cars spinning together, it could be a disaster.
Yeah.
That's a reference to the movie.
Or two motorcycles that run into each other.
Ah, yes.
While one of them is leaking fuel.
What was... Never mind. Go ahead.
We'll talk about it. All right, here we go. I hope you're ready for this. After 4 years, Mission Impossible is back. But this time it's in slow motion. John Woo takes the helm on Mission Impossible 2. More Impossible. We are introduced to the MacGuffin of the film without haste. Chimera is a splice of the flu virus that will be 100% fatal if the subject is infected after 20 hours. This information is given to us by Dr. Nikorovich, Rade Šerbedžija. I'll get it one day. We are introduced to our senior IMF agent, Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, on a plane. I said Tom Cruise poorly because I say everything wrong. See, there's the joke right there. But we are introduced to Ethan Hunt on a plane almost the same way we were introduced to Jim Phelps in the first one. Foreshadowing much? I would thank you to not speculate. Nikorovich explains to Hunt the details of Chimera and refers to Ethan by an alias, Dmitri. After some shots of some very suspicious-looking passengers, there is some turbulence, and Nikorovich is suspicious. Ethan goes to check it out, and when he returns, Nikorovich expresses his concern while Ethan menacingly responds with the old, "You can't keep calling me that. And you should know because I'm not who you think I am," kind of thing. Ethan then snaps Nikorovich's neck with no sound effect and anything in any kind of way to make it look believable, and proceeds to rip off his own face to show that it was a mask and he is actually Dougray Scott, who is playing Sean Ambrose, the apparent villain. Sean and his team then set the plane to crash, and they escape by jumping out of the bottom of the plane and somehow avoid hitting the plane itself. I don't know. There's some physics issues there. Anyway, hey, but screw that fake Ethan. Let's go check out the real Ethan climbing big-ass rocks to Eco Eco by Zap Mama, which somehow works so well. He is interrupted by a rocket holding a pair of sunglasses with the soul of Anthony Hopkins trapped inside them. He's the new mission commander, and he's here with another mission. Ethan is made aware of Chimera and that he has 2 team members of his choice, but he must recruit a civilian. Nia Hall, Thandiwe Newton. Ethan has a pithy response to Hopkins' closing comments, and boom, now it's finally time for the opening credit crawl. That's right, we had 2 different cold openings before the credits. It takes 10 whole minutes to get to the opening credits, and maybe 4 of those minutes were in slow motion. Cut to Spain with some very John Woo shot transitions. We are introduced to Naya. She looks as though she's looking for something, and Ethan looks like he's looking for her. Also, is Tom Cruise attractive? Like, he's dressed nice and his hair is very nice, but is he conventionally attractive? It wasn't until I watched this movie again, this moment, that I realized I don't think this guy is as good looking as his resume makes him out to be. Anywho, we follow Naya to what looks like to be the fanciest bathroom I've ever seen, and she gets in the tub where she discovers a safe. Ethan startles her and proceeds to play a little cat and mouse with her. She eventually steals a necklace, but sets off the alarm by closing the door. Ethan is able to help her out, and because it's found out that he is the homeowner's head of security or something like that. I don't know. The 2 leave after returning the necklace, and Ethan then shows her that, in fact, he set the alarm off. This enrages Naya, and she drives off. The next day, we assume, Ethan catches up to Naya, who is joyriding through the hills of Spain. They race. She crashes. He saves her. They have sex. That's right. They do the nookie, which is appropriate because Limp Bizkit did the theme for this movie. Remember Limp Bizkit? The year was 1999, and nu metal had hit the streets. Well, wait. That's not what we're talking about. Okay. Ethan immediately falls in love with Naya and goes to get the mission report. He finds out that from Hopkins that Naya will be used as bait for an AWOL agent, Sean Ambrose. Oh, dang! Stuff is getting heated. Sean and Naya were in a relationship, and the IMF wants Naya to infiltrate Sean's compound and find out what he knows. But wait, Ambrose also has a relationship with Ethan. No, they're not dating. He hates his guts. Remember when we talk about the first movie? Remember when we talked about the first movie and there was supposed to be a love triangle? Looks like Robert Towne, who also wrote the first one, couldn't let it go, and now he got what he wished for. Now, instead of 2 30-somethings and an old man and a lot of misogyny, we have 3 30-somethings and still a significant amount of misogyny. But don't you fret. Ethan is upset about this and is making it 100% Naya's choice. She reluctantly agrees once she really understands what's at stake. So they fake her arrest so Ambrose can leap into action and save her. Ethan recruits Luther, reprised by Ving Rhames, and Crocodile Dundee. Helicopter Dundee, Billy Brade, John Polson. They put a special tracker in Naya's leg that only one computer can track her in a very convoluted way so that this device is undetectable and becomes a plot issue later in the movie. Naya and Sean reunite as Sean's right-hand man, Hugh, Richard Roxburgh, is suspicious. Sean and Naya did it all for the nookie. What? The nookie. What? The nookie. So they could, in fact, get that cookie. Naya seems uncomfortable the whole time, and Sean seems kind of out of his mind. Did I just rhyme? Later, Hugh brings up his concerns, and Sean cuts the tip of his finger off. Now, I don't want to mention it too much, but this is about 40 minutes into the film, and we have a solid 15 minutes of slow motion, including Hugh's reaction to the cut. Oh, wait. I just figured it out. Does John Woo treat slow motion the way movie trailers do? Is every scene a movie trailer? Wow, that's an epiphany. Look, the next bit is at a horse race where Sean meets up with Mad Eye Moody, Brandon Gleeson as McCoy, who is the CEO of a pharmaceutical. They're all pharmaceuticals, you know. Who's the CEO of a pharmaceutical company that Dr. Nikovich worked for. Full circle. The plot is thickening. Sean is making a deal with McCoy, but we aren't sure for what yet. Before it's all said and done, Naya gets the memory card with all the info that Sean had in his pocket, and before they're done, she returns it, but returns it to the wrong pocket. Sean now knows that Naya is up to no good. The IMF team kidnaps McCoy and creates an elaborate scene for him to believe that he has been infected by Chimera. McCoy is accosted by Dr. Nikovich coming back from the dead. McCoy admits to everything, is knocked out. Nikovich is Ethan in disguise, and they drop McCoy off like nothing happened. Meanwhile, Naya is trying to escape Sean's house, but is intercepted by Ethan, who tells her to stay. But we know that Ethan is somewhere else. So it's actually Sean, confirming all his fears. This movie has a lot of masks things going on. Wasn't Tom Cruise in Eyes Wide Shut? Wasn't that full of masks? Anyway, we then get into the meat and potatoes of the mission. Dang it. We then get into the meat and potatoes of the Mission Impossible movie. Ethan doing some death-defying stunts to get into a highly secured area, which this is only slightly undercut by the way that Sean is reciting exactly what Ethan's going to do in a mocking tone. But the problem with that is this isn't like the 7th movie that's been established in a way. This is the 2nd movie in the series, and the villain has already had has Ethan down flat, and it kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit. Anywho, Ethan breaks into the biosite lab to destroy all remaining samples of Chimera. But Sean interrupts with a special guest, Naya. Naya is used as a shield and goes to retrieve the last vial of Chimera. But twist, she injects herself with it. Now Sean's only sample is running through Naya's blood. She needs to stay alive for him to make a deal, and Ethan says he'll save her by yelling at her aggressively. Actually, he yells a lot in this movie in portions that seem really inappropriate. But then he blows a hole in the wall and jumps out of it. Sean then gives Naya one more chance and is immediately rejected. He then meets McCoy on an island or something with a sample of Naya's blood and the antidote. Then Sean proceeds to blackmail McCoy into the controlling stocks in Biosite, as it's revealed that he sent Naya into a very populated portion of Sydney, and at the 20-hour mark, the city will be dealing with an outbreak of Chimera, with Biosite producing the only antidote. But don't worry, Ethan badasses his way through all the goons and has him face-to-face with Hugh. Remember Hugh? Well, apparently he beats the hell out of Ethan, breaks his jaw, ties him up, and Hugh drags Ethan back to Sean, where Sean then maniacally taunts Ethan, shoots him in the leg, and then shoots him several times in the chest, killing him. But wait. Ethan has a bandage on his finger, like Hugh, because Sean cut his finger off or something like that. Oh no, Sean just killed Hugh, who was dressed like Ethan, and Ethan ran away with vials, and he was dressed like Hugh. Ethan then escapes on a motorcycle, and Sean follows on a motorcycle too. A chase ensues, and more slow motion. Meanwhile, Luther and Crocodile Dundee find Naya and head to the meeting point. Ethan and Sean have a sword fight, but instead of swords, they're motorcycles. And then they blow up the motorcycles, and then they have another sword fight, but it's their fist and feet. We then are treated to 8 minutes of white guy kung fu. They both clearly have more concussions than any person could handle, but they keep fighting. And then they have one more sword fight, but instead of a sword, it's a knife. All in all, Ethan wins after Sean takes one too many concussions, which gets us to at least maybe Sean 12, Ethan 10 concussion count. The good guy wins, and he's walking to save Naya. Oh, shoot. Twist again. Sean is alive, and he has a gun. While Sean is boasting, Ethan notices a gun in the sand, and he feels... Oh, I spelled something wrong. He notices a gun in the sand at his feet, and we are gifted with one more slow motion action sequence when Ethan tosses the vial, kicks the sand, and somehow defies gravity by making the gun go straight up in the air, to which he catches it, moves out of the way of Sean's bullets, and Sean gets in the way of Ethan's bullets. Sean is dead. The movie ends. Naya's safe. Ethan destroyed the virus, and both walking into a crowd, and we assume straight into a happily ever after. Or is it? This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
Get too many buttons there.
I did. I got a little too cocky, to be honest. There you go. That's my...
All right. Well done.
Thank you.
Oh.
So, what'd you think of the movie overall?
That recap felt like the full length of that movie.
Yeah, just about. I probably, if I spaced it the way movie scripts are, I probably had the same amount of pages.
There was something I meant to take note of that you said. Maybe we'll come back around to it. Overall, last week you mentioned how 90s the first Mission Impossible felt.
Right.
This one feels so 2000.
Yes.
Like the hair, the music, the fashion, the tech, all of it is like, yes, we
get it, guys. It's the new millennium, but everyone needs to calm down.
It's crazy. Especially, I feel like this movie did the thing where it was like, we had like almost no like real action in the previous movie.
Yes.
So let's make up for that in this movie. And they went sometimes over the top and like way too dramatic. And like you mentioned, there's like, it's cool stunts, but so much slow motion. Like
so much.
There was a moment where I stopped and I was just laughing. Whenever it happened, I couldn't help but laugh when a slow motion sequence happened. And I was like, did Zack Snyder do this? Like, what's going on?
The problem with the slow motion is it was used all the time. It wasn't just for the action. There were scenes where slow motion was completely unnecessary, and it was there.
I think the one that made me pause the movie was when Naya is showing up to Sean's like mansion and her scarf blows away
so
and he
weird.
Like grabs it. It's such a weird scene. It's so awkward.
I get what they're trying to do because John, whether it's the writer or John Woo, they're trying to establish that Naya feels in danger and maybe deserves to feel in danger. Like she's justified in feeling so.
Yeah.
And so the slow motion is supposed to make you think like, oh, he's going to hit her. Oh, he's going to hit. Oh, he just caught a scarf. I don't know
it
how
felt
to
like
feel
a
about
perfume commercial to me.
It was a joke, but truly a lot of the slow motion feels like movie trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And when I wrote that, I was like, oh, I think that might be more accurate than I believe it to be.
Yeah. Oh, you mentioned, I remembered what it was. You talked about at the beginning of the movie when fake Ethan snaps the neck of the doctor. And there's like no sound or anything. Apparently, this movie was originally rated R, and then they cut a bunch of that stuff, cut a bunch of scenes, and took out a bunch of like blood and like that kind of stuff. And one of the things that they removed was the sound effect of snapping his neck to make it a PG-13 movie. In the UK, though, they got that sound effect.
Oh.
So for some reason, we didn't
very
get it.
Odd, because arguably the US film-wise and country-wise is more violent. Our ratings typically in other countries, I believe UK too, I know it's true in Canada, some of our movies that are PG-13 for the violence are rated R in other countries when our films are more prudent or whatever about nudity and sex. So that's interesting that we in America had to step forward with violence while everyone else is like, hey.
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but apparently the original.
That scene always bothered me because it looks dumb without the sound effect. Without the sound, it just doesn't. To me, it doesn't feel very believable because, one, it's an actor. We shouldn't be snapping actors' necks, but it just feels off. And usually the thing that is able to suspend our disbelief a little more is the sound. Yeah. And the fact that they took it out because of the rating is very funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. The original cut was like 3 hours long, and then they cut out all of the Probably slow motion.
Yeah. Well, let's see real quick. I'm going to just do director. So this was 2000.
Oh, another fun fact while you're looking that up.
Go for it.
It took, including the first movie, it took nearly 3 hours and 6 minutes for Ethan to finally shoot his gun. And when he did, he got his guns off.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Also, he shoots, maybe it was the angle. I'm not certain, but when he shoots, here's the camera. When he shoots, his gun is like this, like it's pointed down when he shoots. I don't know if you noticed that. So if he's like,
I didn't notice that.
So you would assume, especially because he doesn't, the people aren't on camera. So he doesn't have to point a certain way. He doesn't have to aim at someone. He can just point forward, but he's like this the whole time.
He's just going for the legs.
Yeah, he doesn't want a kill shot. He wants a leg shot.
Yeah.
So one of the things I was looking up was John Woo. What was he doing prior to this? So
John Woo.
He had 97 had Face Off. Yep. 96 had Broken Arrow, which critically panned all around, but Once a Thief, Hard Target, Hard Boiled, Bullet in the... Which movie were they like, yeah, he's a good pick?
I was reading about this.
Is it Face Off?
No, well...
Because I don't remember Face Off being good.
No. There was because he did most of his movies like it wasn't until like Hard Target, I think, was like one of his first American films.
Okay.
But before that, I can't remember which one it was, but maybe Bullet to the Head was like the one that caught American audiences, and they then brought him over to film.
I think you're right, because that one, of all the movies I see, I believe that one is one that has had an American remake. And it's not just his original one. I think that one has had a remake. I don't know. I don't remember which one it was, but I think it probably is that. But anyway,
yeah, all of his stuff was Chinese films, and then something caught the American audience, and then he came over and did a handful of movies that I don't know. I don't think any of them were super great.
Yeah, it feels so odd to have him come in, unless they were really banking on the idea of, well, he's had some, I guess, successful action flicks, so maybe he can translate that to this. It just feels weird for like a spy thriller to have that kind of.
Yeah, and I was reading that he apparently was kind of uncomfortable coming in and doing this movie, and then Tom Cruise was like, "No, I want you to do it like you would do a movie."
It was probably Tom Cruise's doing then.
Yeah, but they offered it to De Palma to do it, and he's like, "I don't want to do another one." And then they offered it to somebody else who, because of timing, I think, because Tom Cruise was doing the you mentioned it earlier, the movie that he was in,
Show Me the Money.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, Eyes Wide Shut.
Did you mention that one?
I did, because isn't there a scene with the masks?
Yeah, so he was filming that, and then so that director dropped out, and so then they brought in John Woo. But I think he was just popular, in the like late 90s time. Thank
you for vamping. One of the things I was looking up is Hard Target. Oh crap! I already forgot the other one. Broken Arrow and Face Off all were technically financial successes.
Hmm.
So even if they don't have the credibility of critic review or even fan review, they made money.
Right.
So John Woo did have the resume to say, well, my action movie, whatever it is, will probably make money.
Yeah.
And this one did. It made a lot of money. Yeah. So
I'm curious if this one had, because if this one was the highest grossing one that they did, Mission Impossible 3 came out and then didn't perform as well. I mean, it still probably performed great, but not as well as this one. And then Ghost Protocol, I think, was the next one that beat this one. It does make me wonder if this movie put even though it performed well, if it put a bad taste in the audience's mouth. And so then when they got to the third one, they're like, I don't know. But the third one also had a completely different feel.
This one tastes like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 3, I know we'll talk about it next week, but made $400 million out of a $150 million budget.
It's still a lot.
Yeah. It's still a lot, but with inflation and everything, technically, it was probably just a little... It was close. It wasn't that far off. But I guess you could say... Why do they... IMDb, get your stuff in order, man.
I prefer the mobile app over the desktop.
Yeah, the mobile app's it's
so easy to navigate.
So, interestingly enough, I thought he had another one. Oh, no.
Who?
Interesting. Because the third one was J.J. Abrams' first movie.
What?
He had directed Alias and Lost and Felicity.
Oh, but it was his first
But
feature.
he had not directed a feature film.
Wow.
And then his second feature film was Star Trek.
Crazy.
And it wasn't until after Star Trek that he got his own movie, Super 8. That's wild. He really has a small resume. How did he become like the biggest thing in Hollywood? We'll talk about that next week.
Well,
anyway,
we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Oh my gosh. Anywho,
did you have any other overall thoughts about this movie?
I think I talked about it off camera, but 30% of this movie is slow motion. 10% of this movie is absolute dog crap. And the rest of it can honestly be a pretty good action movie. But I think we find ourselves in a problem of, it's 2024. We've seen this movie in the past. We've seen what this movie can be. We've seen what Mission Impossible can be. And so this movie just doesn't feel like a Mission Impossible movie until an hour and 20 minutes into the movie. Once Ethan is planning to get into the biosite lab, then it finally feels like a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
Everything else feels a little spy, but is undercut by the slow motion and the dialogue.
It feels more like a James Bond movie.
Right.
For the first half. Or a little bit of The Bourne Identity. When did that movie come out? Because that influence
it came out later.
But yeah, it was like the first 30 to 45 minutes of this movie just felt like they pulled out a James Bond handbook and they're like, okay, spy makes love to the first woman that he sees. Like it was just, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, absolutely. Bourne Identity, 2002.
Okay, so this, which is a little bit after that.
Which I think you're right, and I think that comparison is good because this is 2000. We had just come from 3 James Bond movies. At least by this point, there were at least 2 90s James Bond movies.
Right.
And Pierce Bronson and, they got hokier as they went along, but it was very, the good guy is too charismatic and too winning of the women and too good and too conflicting to the villain.
Yeah.
But it's shrouded with weird tropes and undeserved confidence that really is what that first hour and a half or so, probably hour 20 of this movie is. We are returning to Ethan Hunt after he has essentially barely caught the villain of his previous, the last time we saw him.
Mm-hmm.
They give no backstory to indicate, like, hey, it's been 4 years since that incident. These are the ways that Ethan has grown, or that the IMF has grown, or any of that. We're just reintroduced to him. And then through some exposition, we're introduced to Sean Ambrose.
Yeah.
But there's no point that really establishes who Ethan is now. Like, he rock climbs. That's cool. That's just Tom Cruise.
He's got long hair now.
Yeah. The rock climbing thing is just very much a Tom Cruise thing. Like, it seems Mission Impossible is an outlet for Tom Cruise to do an activity that he wants to do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Speeding motorcycles through Sydney, rock climbing on some really freaking terrifying looking rocks.
Yeah.
That's just Tom. That's just Tommy.
You know what I just realized? I think this is the only one where he doesn't do his run. Right? In every Mission Impossible and almost every Tom Cruise movie, he does his iconic Tom Cruise run. I don't think he does it in this one.
He does it at the end, but...
Oh, when he's like running out to the helicopter.
But he's so covered in the leather that I just don't think it looks the same. Because every other time he's wearing like a light suit or there's something that allows his body to be shown more. The clothes he's wearing, very 2000s, a little baggy.
Yeah.
It's not form-fitting. And so I don't think it has the same effect. But he is running.
Yeah.
But it is a short distance. It's not that far. It didn't
feel like they did the like, he's running the distance.
Right.
And we're going to linger on him going.
Right.
Anyway.
No, that's fair. I used to watch a YouTube channel, crack.com. They're kind of back again. We'll see. But they had a show called After Hours where they wrote a script where these four friends were talking about movies and breaking them apart and movie tropes and pop culture and everything like that. And one of the things they talked about was actor or movie person things. So Quentin Tarantino always shows feet because he's a weird guy. Tom Hanks always pees in the movie he's in. And Tom Cruise is always running. And that is a very apt observation. I think you know what? I'm going to go on your side and actually count it as one that doesn't really have it.
Yeah.
It isn't featured. It's not
it's not a featured run. It's not where all the other times it is.
Yeah, it's not framed in the way that the other ones are. I'm thinking of just some of the movies we're going to watch soon where him running is the point.
Yeah.
Like him running.
The car no longer works for him, so he has to run.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a Grand Theft Auto character when the car blows up.
Just start
but
mashing
yet
A.
He never runs out of his own gas. He can always run.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I think we should talk about it first, but what'd you like best about the film?
You kind of mentioned it. I think the story was actually really interesting in this one.
Yeah.
Like
I
the
agree.
virus, the antivirus, the whole like thing. I thought that was really interesting. And I didn't remember what this movie was about before going in. I was like, I know I've watched it. I don't remember anything about it.
It's okay. I watched it like 5 days ago, and I didn't even remember most of it. So I had to kind of rewatch it.
I think the issue is like they had a really good idea, but the way that they went about it, it does not make it memorable. And also just a shout out to the evil Tom Cruise stare when we find out that it's Sean in the mask, and he turns around the corner and it's like, douche. Like,
yeah, it is. It's worth thinking about if that was a Tom Cruise decision or a John Woo decision, because Tom has a lot of power through these movies, and that's a hell of a choice. It's obvious. It's melodramatic almost.
Yeah, it was silly, but it was also like, dang, he got that crazy look down. It
was foreshadowing his real life.
Yeah. How about you? What did you like about this?
I enjoyed the story. I like the story. The story is actually a really good story. Like you said, done poorly.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed Ving Rhames and John Polson, the Crocodile Dundee. That's probably racist. I don't know. The Australian helicopter pilot. I enjoyed their interactions. I think it was a good foreshadow for what his team relationships are going to look like in the future. I think they really it was a thing we mentioned as a negative. The relationships between the members of the team in the first one are super weird. They don't make any sense. None of that. This one, Ving Rhames, John Polson, Tom Cruise, their chemistry worked.
Yeah.
It all really melded together really well. Naya and Ethan's relationship doesn't make sense, but their chemistry was pretty good.
Mm.
So that worked. I actually liked Dougray Scott as Sean Ambrose. I don't like how they came about it because I don't think they gave him enough backstory for how crazy he got.
Right.
They, like you said, it was 3 hours worth of movie. They clearly cut some stuff. Apparently they cut some of his backstory or some of what made us, the audience, understand why he was so freaking out of his mind.
Yeah.
Which made him kind of scary. When I first saw this film when I was a kid, he was scary. He was a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Rewatching it, he's still a pretty good bad guy. He just got misused. Let's see, what else? Some of the action sequences were pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember thinking while watching it, like, some of this is like way over the top, but some of it is pretty cool.
Yeah. Some of it's great.
Yeah.
And some of that greatness gets bogged down by the fattiness of the extra stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
like slow motion Tom Cruise riding a motorcycle through an explosion. Pretty cool.
right.
slow motion Tom Cruise jousting motorcycle to motorcycle and then leaping into each other, not so cool.
Right. What's his name? John, no. Richard Roxburgh, Hugh. Before I wrote everything, I rewatched certain scenes because I had to remember, am I remembering that right? Because this movie is so not memorable that there were so many aspects that I had to rewatch because, one, I couldn't believe my memory for some of the things that were silly.
Yeah.
And then, two, when I watched it, I was flabbergasted by the fact that I had remembered correctly. And so the scene where Sean cuts the tip of Hugh's finger off.
Yep.
Everything's going, and then they slow motion the cut, but they didn't use that much slow motion. It moved pretty smoothly, like not too much different than normal speed.
Uh-huh.
But then they slowed down his reaction. But the problem was they did not film it in the frame rate for the slow motion.
Yeah.
So it's all cutty. Whatever the movie terms for when the slow motion is moving too slow and there are not enough frames to fill the space. So it feels cut. And then it cuts to the horse racing scene. Useless slow motion. Don't do it. But there are moments where the slow motion is great. What else? Even though he seems like a prick, I really liked Anthony Hopkins through it. Like, he just seems like a jerk. Like, he seems like a misogynist. He seems like a politician. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Anthony, he's, he didn't get credited for it. So
he didn't?
I didn't know what his name was.
Yeah, apparently he has a name.
He does. He does, in fact, have a name. Where is it? I don't know if it'll... I don't have... For whatever reason, I don't have the IMDb in it, but that's where I saw it. And then when I read his name, it caught me off guard because I thought, that's a dumb name. There it is.
Commander Swanbeck.
Swanbeck. Oh. Did Tom Cruise ever say that?
No, I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Oh. So something, this is crazy.
Yes.
There is an alternate universe out there where
Do tell.
Hugh Jackman was not Wolverine because Dougray Scott would have been Wolverine.
That is right.
There is a world where Ian McKellen would not have been Magneto or Gandalf, but he would have been Swanbeck.
Oh.
And there's a world where how do you pronounce her name? Thandiwe?
I wrote it phonetically.
Yikes. Where is it?
Thandiwe.
Thandiwe would have been in the Charlie's Angels movie.
Oh, that would have been good. She would have been good.
Yeah.
She's very clever. She's very on her feet. Her mannerisms.
Yeah.
I feel like she could do.
She would have been great. But
there's also a world where Robert Downey Jr. was not Iron Man, but Tom Cruise was.
I know. I imagine
Good
those
choice,
worlds
though.
may have been the same movie, or may have been the same world.
Yeah, that was a good choice for RDJ. Alrighty. Anything else you liked? Because we can get into the muck.
Oh, I think it's time.
All right. What about this movie sucked?
Okay. I think
the story sucked. No, wait.
No. I think the plot sucked. I think the story was good. I think the plot had issues. I think we're going to start off simple. Sean's character could have been more believable without giving us more backstory if all they did was say that he was a disavowed agent.
Yes. And how was he not? How did they not have a scene for that?
The fact that he was an active agent and that's how this all went down is crazy to me, because it would have explained like how he knows how to use the masks and disguise himself and how to do all of these things and how he has all these resources. That could have all been explained by him being like, oh yeah, he was one of our top agents, but then he went rogue.
Right.
Also, this movie does a really great job of like setting up the fact that the IMF is really horrible at hiring people, and it makes sense why they don't trust Ethan later on, because in the first movie and in this movie, we've had an agent go rogue. So like in the future, they're like, Ethan, we can't trust you, mostly because we're bad at hiring people and doing background checks.
Well, and then on top of that, I wrote in my recap that it was an AWOL agent because he clearly was.
Yeah.
But you're right. They never disavowed him. So there's that. That's dumb.
And Swanbeck apparently had no intention to disavow this guy. They were just like, hey, he stole a thing and we need to get it back.
On top of that, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it happens otherwise. Why a civilian? I understand her position in the whole thing, but that feels like a dumb move.
Yeah.
On the IMF. This movie
don't they have agents that are
at great lengths
capable
to show that the IMF is incompetent? And I don't think they meant to, but that's what they did. The impression that the audience gets at the end of the movie is that the IMF is dumb.
Yeah, because they didn't know where Ethan was, so they sent this other guy in his stead, and that guy turned out to go like AWOL and do his own thing, and then they had to use his ex-girlfriend to find out where he was. And
he was just at a penthouse.
But they already knew that he was in Sydney. Like I don't know.
That part it doesn't make any sense, and everything leading to it, going through it and then exiting it, all falls flat because it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So the plot bad.
Yeah.
Plot bad.
They took the first movie, and not only did they say we need more action, they said, you know, that one part at the very end of the first movie that made everybody kind of throw up in their mouth a little bit when Jim goes super misogynist, and you're like, where did this come from?
Right.
And they said, what if we make this the whole movie?
Yeah. The misogyny is out of control.
The entire plot of this movie is built off of misogynistic momentum that goes beyond just the characters.
Right.
But it's in the filmmaking, which makes me think we're not just writing characters that you're supposed to hate. It's the people making this movie don't like women.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get into it. One. Arguably, Ethan, while meeting Naya, whatever it might be, maybe questionable terms, does seem to have real feelings for her and cares. We do have that. So we're just going to go ahead and say there was someone who seemed somehow like they were trying.
Yeah.
But that only goes so far. So right out of the back, Anthony Hopkins basically says, what was it? Lying and sleeping with men, or sleeping with men to get what they want. That's what women do.
Yeah, she doesn't need any more training, or she has all the training she needs, or something.
Which is just a really grand way of saying she has women body parts, and the bad guy wants it. That's all she needs. She doesn't need any type of protective training or anything like that. So right off the bat, not a great start with IMF as a whole.
Yeah.
How Ambrose looks at Naya is revolting.
It's such a dumb, like.
It's revolting. Like, he is a horny teenager who just got broken up with and just can't accept it. He is too intense. You're right. His face, like, he gets so red and angry about everything when she's changing. He
just looks like the derpiest. He
looks like a dog looking at a bowl of food.
Like there should be drool coming out of his mouth.
His tongue should have like come out like a
yeah. It's like, it's horrible, but like almost funny how just weird and gross it is.
Then we have Hugh, who just doesn't like women, it seems. Or they make a joke about it in passing. Doesn't like sex or something. I'm not entirely sure, because Hugh states his suspicion, and he says she wasn't gagging for it. Gross. For maybe it was just like a regional expression, but he's trying to say she wasn't after you 6 months ago when she left. Okay, cool. Whatever. It seems like you hate this woman and you hate women. And then Ambrose says a couple things. One, he says, I don't care what she is looking for or wants because I want it. Yeah. I am gagging for it. But then the other thing that he says to Hugh was, maybe you don't have the pressure inside or something to the nature of pressure inside for sex, but I do. Basically saying like, you know, you are celibate, but I'm not, which was just kind of a weird line. That isn't the misogyny. I just thought that was weird. Anyway, moving forward. So everything Ambrose does is misogynistic. Naya is not a person he loves. He is a body he wants. That is it. And it's gross. It's so gross.
Yeah, she Naya's character, she's not even a character. She's an object in this movie. And even though...
But she's aware of it. Her character's aware of it and protests, but also can't protest. It's a weird thing that they do where she's clearly protesting and knows, I'm uncomfortable with this. I don't want to do this. But then gets convinced, but I have to do this.
Yeah.
Which is weird too.
I think she could have been such an interesting character who
she's Catwoman.
Was like, she was capable. Like when we meet her, she's like this very capable person. And it's like, okay, I'm interested. And then they just are like, nope.
Right.
You're an object. That's all you are. We're
going to take all those things you're really, really good at and make it a secondary, if not third dairy thing.
Yeah. And the way that we're going to convince you that you should do this is by yelling at you that you should feel better.
That was
we're gonna tell you to feel better because is it going to make you feel better if I told you I don't want you to do it? Then feel better. It's horrible.
He yells so much in unwarranted situations. That scene in particular, he yells so angrily.
Yeah.
Where it really doesn't belong.
Yeah. It's weird. It's out of place.
What's funny is I don't think the line is terrible if it was delivered differently. If he would have said, would it make you feel better if I didn't want you to do this? And she says something to the point of like, it would be a start. And if he would have said, then please feel better.
Yeah.
I don't want you to do this. Oh my gosh, empathy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
The yelling does not.
It doesn't help.
Do it. I guess in that scene, he was having a bad day, and so they filmed it a million times.
Well,
but it got to the point that she felt scared when they were filming that scene.
Yeah.
So
interestingly, I think we talking about the same thing. Apparently, she did a interview in 2020 where she talked about it, and let's see, discussed her unpleasant on-set experience with Cruise during the shooting of the balcony sequence in 2020 interview. According to Newton, Cruise was heavily stressed over the expectations of the sequel being good and was upset during the shooting of said scene because she had the shittiest lines, which, yeah. The two decided to do reverse role play each other as practice. However, it wasn't helpful and in fact pushed her in a place of terror and insecurity. After shooting was finished, she contacted Jonathan Demme, telling him what happened. Looking back on the day, Newton said about Cruise, "Bless him." And I really do mean bless him, because he was trying his damnedest. So he just couldn't nail it down and made it worse. And it came off as such. It didn't come off as, emotive. It actually came off as just poor acting or poor direction. One of the two.
Yeah.
It came off weird.
I needed more for their character, their relationship development, because it happens in the first 25 minutes of the movie, and then they're just in love with each other. And that was
and arguably it happened within the first 24 hours of their world,
them meeting each
story
other.
world, because he had to be back meeting Anthony Hopkins in 48 hours.
Yeah.
So wherever he was, I don't know where rocks like that grow outside of Utah or somewhere in the, Western United States. I don't know of anywhere else. So he had to fly to Spain, even with a private jet, 15 hours, figure, give or take an hour. And then he had to establish. So here's the part that makes this worse. He had to establish who he was with the homeowner, that he is the security person.
Oh, yeah.
Justify him being at that event, knowing that she would be there, planning the whole opt to get her caught. Then she drives away because he's an a-hole. And then it's the next day. We assume. We don't know what time of day. May I assume it's not early in the morning? Because they were at a party late night, get a little shut eye.
Unless she's been driving all night.
Yeah. But she changed. So.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. Well, but next day.
No, she didn't. I think she was wearing the same thing.
No, she was wearing a dress, and then she was wearing the white shirt and the pants. She wasn't wearing a dress when she was hanging off the cliff. Why do I know that? That's weird.
I thought she was wearing the dress when she was hanging off the cliff.
Anyway, my point being, later that day, whatever it might be, early in the morning, whatever it might be. Either way, time has passed because it was night. Now it's not night. So time has passed. Then they sleep together and it's nighttime again, or soon to be night. And then he meets with Anthony Hopkins, and then they sleep together again. But that's when they've established how they feel. 10 hours? 10 hours, maybe?
Yeah.
That's not a whole lot of time.
I just looked up the scene. She's wearing the same clothes. So this is suggesting that it is literally the next morning.
Can I just say that nothing in that film establishes that to a point at all? The timing. You do not get the assumption that it is 4, 5, 6 in the morning from the party and the party goers, you would assume it's like 9 at night.
Yeah.
So where are they driving to?
Where
are those hills?
Obviously.
Are those the hills of Spain? Is it Italy? I don't know how Europe works.
Yeah. Yeah. So that timing doesn't make sense in the plot.
Okay, so we can mark that down as what I liked least about the film is time doesn't seem to really matter that much.
Yeah, time does not make sense. Okay. Everybody in this movie, except for like Ethan and his team, are the worst. Like, obviously the bad guys are the worst, but the IMF, as we've talked about, like Anthony Hopkins' character, there's no reason for us to like him or the IMF.
Not only is he misogynist, he's kind of racist. He doesn't like the Spanish at all.
He's horrible. Like from the moment that we see him, we're like, you suck.
Yeah.
Like as a character, you suck. Why does
the only reason I like it is because it's Anthony Hopkins, not because of his lines. I just like how Anthony Hopkins is as a person, but you're right. Him as a character, whoever he is, nothing good. Not a good thing about him.
Yeah. And like their interaction shows that there's like a little bit of like tension between Ethan and him.
Yeah.
But like they even have some playful banter, but even that is like, you suck, dude.
Yeah, it's like a bad manager banter, like the stuff you would talk back to a bad manager.
Yeah,
where it's like if I told you it wouldn't be a vacation, like that, those kind of things. You know, it's an interesting thing. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the first movie we have the IMF mission controller or the director, whoever he's supposed to be, and he is over the top. He is pervasive. Right. He is intense, mean, annoying, accusative, like all the negative terms you can think of. Ethan Hopkins. He is misogynistic, kind of racist, clearly has issues with Ethan. Also could give a damn. He just seems like he does not care. Like he's 5 days from retirement and this mission is the one thing keeping him from retiring. And if Ethan doesn't get it done, he has to wait another 6 months before he can retire. That's his backstory. So he just doesn't seem like he cares. And it feels like such a weird, because we've watched it back to back. I'm sure it's not weird if you watched 1996 in the theaters, 2000s in the theaters. You're not watching them back to back. We've essentially watched it back to back. And the juxtaposition of the two bosses, it feels as though they knew, okay, we went really intense on that first one. Let's make them a little laid back.
Let's chill out. And it's too much.
What if the mission controller just really likes smoking weed? Like that's where we're going because he just couldn't care less.
Yeah.
And even in his rhetoric, it seems that's his pivot point of he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, he just doesn't care. That's why his misogyny is there, because he doesn't care about Naya.
He cares about her.
He cares about the mission. He doesn't care about Ethan's feelings. He doesn't care about Sean. He doesn't care about any of them.
Yeah,
I don't even know if he cares about Chimera other than it's his job to take care of it. Other than that, I don't think he cares.
Yeah, and at the end, he's like, you were supposed to bring back a vial of it. And Ethan was like, we lost it to a fire. And he's like, okay.
That
I don't care.
That line was stunning to me because we've gone through this whole movie and the previous movie really feeling like the IMF is a piece of crap organization.
And then the nail.
The nail in the coffin was, so what were you guys going to do with it? What were you going to do with this sample?
Yeah.
IMF? Were you going to try to use it as a bioweapon? Is that what you're aiming for?
Mm-hmm.
Why? it just made me hate the IMF more.
Yeah. And I think in some ways, I like Kittredge better than the IMF presented in this movie. Because while Kittredge was like the antagonist, and he was like this super intense guy, like he felt like he cared and he was doing his job.
Here's where maybe I can adjust that statement, because he wasn't the antagonist, but he was certainly antagonizing.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, he wasn't the antagonist, but he was a conflict.
Considering what had happened under his nose,
yeah,
it kind of makes sense. It happened under Anthony Hopkins' nose. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, Ethan, go take care of this.
So this worker of mine was on a mission, killed everyone on the mission, stole the plague, and Ethan, I need you to clean this up.
Yeah, go send a civilian in, so that
to a place where there's a plague.
Yeah. Yeah, let Sean just get his jollies off, and
it's so friggin' weird. Okay, so the IMF is another thing we can.
They're horrible.
I'm starting to write these down so I can actually remember them. So IMF,
and okay, a theme. A theme that I was a little bit in the first movie.
Okay,
but this is when it comes out in full glory, and I think we're going to see it throughout the rest of the films. Everybody sucks except for Ethan, who in this movie is depicted metaphorically as a literal saint. He comes around the corner in slow motion. A white dove flies through the doorway. And then he comes around the corner and he's like, I'm the hero. I'm the savior.
That shot pissed me off so much.
Yeah. But I think this is something. Note that Ethan in this movie is one of the only characters who is shown as
good,
caring, as good.
Right.
And in every other movie, I think moving forward from what I remember, is Ethan is like, he's the only person out to do good. And like he and his team, right. But like he's the guy in the face of everything else. He's the guy that's going to do good.
I'm only going to dispute that a little bit in that I think as we go through and they really establish what the solidified team is going to be, Ving Rhames being one of them, him other than Tom Cruise, I think is in every single one.
Yeah.
Everyone else, it kind of moves around. But he will build a team in 2 movies. So not the next one, but the one after that. Oh, no. In the next one. In the next one, he builds the team that we see for the rest of the movies. They will be good. The people on the team will be good. Ethan will be right.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to etch that little difference.
I will accept that.
Because throughout the films, and even in this one, he may not be doing what is good per se, but everything he does ends up being right.
It's the right thing.
It's the right move. And that becomes a big theme. Yeah. Which that is to, pet Tom Cruise's ego. Because he needs to be right, man. I don't know why I'm being so mean to Tom Cruise, but I don't know him, but I feel like that's him. But I think that assessment is good, that his team will be good, but he will always be the one who's right through it all. Mm-hmm. And really thinking about it, I don't think he makes what is quote unquote like a wrong move through the next films. Because even when he's wrong, he ends up being right in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
If they fail at something, he's still right.
Yeah. I think in the later ones they do start presenting a little bit of conflict in what his decisions are, but I think there's still this theme of like he is the
when he moves past that doorway and that dove goes through and it's all smoky and he does his little smoky's a good way, smoky glance.
Yes.
Man, I never wanted to hit a TV so hard in my life.
It was frustrating.
It feels patronizing to the audience.
Uh-huh.
Because we go through this whole movie where, yeah, there's a lot of ridiculousness through it, but there's really an establishment of reality. And that is the one thing where you're like, wait. So is he a god? Is he a saint? Like what is he? Is he supernatural? Yeah. What are you establishing in this?
I don't know if I would prefer for it to have been an intentional metaphor or if it was just by accident and they're like, hey, we want to have birds to like add a little bit of motion to what's happening. But yeah, it frustrated me so much when that happened is like, you guys are like hitting us in the face.
Right. Which is curious because I wonder which came first, that idea or the pigeons being plot points earlier. Because the pigeon gives off pardon me, but there's a scene where Ethan is hiding in a cove area and he's hanging up on some poles or whatever it might be, and Hugh is walking by and Hugh hears and goes, eh? Like he turns around and he goes, that wasn't a dove. That was a person. Like, what? No. No one hears a dove and goes, I bet a person's hiding over there. Yeah.
There's already been so many pigeons in here. For no reason would he turn around and be like, I wonder why that bird is making bird sounds.
That whole, I don't know, 10 minutes either has really good action or really fun moments or just the dumbest ideas possible for the action movies. The dove portion where he uses the birds as cover, great. That makes all the sense in the world. Hugh turning back because a dove coos, dumb.
Yeah.
The dove going through the doorway as Ethan walks by, dumb. Just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay.
That was a lot of talk about doves. I'm going to put it right here, doves.
Doves.
If I may interject
go ahead.
Something, because I think it ties a little bit into that scene and then the after scene. That white guy kung fu, man. It is rough.
Yeah.
The fight scene, action sequences, stunts have moments where they're great. Tom Cruise doing what looks like martial arts, bad.
Yeah.
He looks so stiff and unnatural. He looks uncomfortable doing it. And then you have another white dude. Have him fist it out. Have him do brawly type fighting, like a brawl. Or just, boxing or some type of martial arts that doesn't look... It was very kick heavy. Was it just
super
me? It was
heavy.
super
no, there
kick
was
heavy.
Kicks and flips everywhere.
Maybe not unnecessary, but those were the wrong people to do it. And the problem is that Tom Cruise has to do his own friggin' stunts. Yeah. So it's him doing it, and it just looks unnatural. Real unnatural. And that's coming from, I think both of us can say, fans of Jackie Chan, who has some of the best fight choreography in the game. And I guess, John Woo, I believe he's Chinese. That's what his movies were. I get, born in southern China. So we have a Chinese director, and I get that, but it feels almost racist to John Woo if Tom was going into the situation going, John, love your work. We're learning some martial arts to really get into your vibe.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, you could have just said, hey, we're going to have some fight scenes. We're going to kind of fight our way, but you film it however you want to film it.
Yeah.
Because I think it's more atrocious knowing that we have seen and lived in a world where the other Mission Impossible movies exist, and the fights do not look like that.
Right.
They are not clunky. They are not faux martial arts. They feel more natural, especially when what's her name? Shoot. Gosh darn it. I really kicked myself in the foot. Oh man. Vamp.
I'm trying to
Rebecca Ferguson when
I could only think of her name from Dune, and I was like,
when she comes into the picture, she has that martial arts, but kind of the mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
And the fighting becomes so much more believable.
Yeah.
This one, none of the fighting is believable.
It just felt like they were like, hey, let's make this into a martial arts movie for the action sequences. Not for the whole thing, but for like action sequences, martial arts.
Right.
But like it just didn't. It felt weird. It felt off.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that, because everything about it felt super weird. And on top of that, so the fight scenes were weird, and I just wanted to check his movie repertoire. Okay, up until this movie, even in the first Mission Impossible, he didn't really shoot a whole lot of guns. He doesn't really have a movie where he's shooting guns.
Mm-hmm.
So his gun work is super awkward.
Yeah.
And I know we live in a world where...
And he shoots so many in this one.
Yeah.
He's got 2 guns at one point.
Right. When he changes the I'm speaking like an idiot. I don't know guns. The cartridge. He looks cool doing that. But then when he shoots, some of the gunfire looks very 2000s because he's wearing the dumb Oakley. Sorry, fans of Oakley, the dumb Oakley glasses. Just say it again. I apologize for offending you, but your stupid friggin' glasses.
Dumb. Yeah.
The very dated sunglasses, and then the black leather and all that. He just looks super.
It's so funny when he runs out of the complex and jumps up, and he can't get on the helicopter because
they're
firing
shooting at him. Yeah.
And then random motorcycles come out of nowhere. Really, like, what are these guys doing here? Why are there motorcycles here? But then, like, as he's running and dodging bullets, he feels the need to pull out his sunglasses and put them on. Like, that felt so weird.
If I may, it's so that the bugs don't get in his eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Because he doesn't have a helmet, because he's unsafe.
Yeah, but he does that way before are you telling me that he sees a motorcycle? He's like, I'm going to get on that motorcycle. I better put my glasses on 5 minutes before I get on that motorcycle. 5 minutes is an over-exaggeration, but still.
But I will say, hold on, because you just really hit something for me. Yep. Okay. Oakley, we're sponsors of the film.
Yeah.
Product placement.
The glasses at the beginning that he throws off that explode are Oakley, and then he puts them on there. And then when Sean gets out of the complex, he puts on his sunglasses, which his makes a little bit more sense because he walks out and is like, oh, it's bright and sunny. Let me put my sunglasses on. Where Ethan is like, oh, sunglasses.
Dang. You know what? I will say one of the things I didn't like. The product placement was bad. It was awful. Because they had Apple, they had Audi.
I said Nikon was the camera that they used.
There was a lot of stuff that it was clearly product placement, and the product placement was just so in your face.
Oh, and Luther specifically talk like my Gucci shoes.
I know.
And my.
You know what's funny though? I actually don't think they were.
You don't think they were sponsors?
No,
because they name dropped them.
I don't know. Maybe someone did it, but I don't know. Maybe there's a special thanks somewhere, but it's not in the other companies. I wouldn't even know where to look for that, but that would be very fun. He said that Gucci and Versace, I think.
Versace, yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically called those out.
That could either be product placement or really want you to understand that Luther really likes where his position in life.
Yeah. He buys expensive things, and
yeah,
now he stepped in some kangaroo poop.
What was that? He stepped on it and he's like, shit. And he's, what did Ethan say? I believe it is.
Yeah.
There were some of the humor in the movie was actually really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I think this one started getting the humor better.
Yeah.
Like
this was a good stepping stone for
yeah.
I don't know about the next one, but the one
what comes in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I mean, this is again thinking about the future movies. But one of the characters in the future is like obsessed with getting to wear a mask. And after watching this movie, I can see why, because like everybody was wearing masks in this movie. Which to the point of
would that
how
be
were
a
they
joke?
making what?
Do you think that's them kind of in their own universe spoofing?
Oh, probably, because
couple
like,
movies.
The first they do so many masks in this movie, and then in the next one, I don't think there's nearly as many. And then like it becomes a running joke in the future of like, right. Oh, we're gonna make a mask, and then the machine breaks, or like right. We don't have time, or whatever it is.
But you were about to say something about this movie.
How
do they make the mask?
How were they able to make them? How did Ethan know to have an Ethan mask and a Hugh mask on the ready for that fight in the complex, right? Because
that's an excellent question.
He puts a mask on him. They completely change clothes, and then they pull him in there.
It's an excellent plot twist. Kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No explanation.
Yeah, that's a great plot twist with no explanation at all.
Especially in future movies where they show us like how they make the masks.
Right.
There's no way that he just had it in his pocket. Like that doesn't happen.
Well, and then that's what's interesting, because while Sean is an IMF agent, Hugh, I don't think he is.
Mm-mm.
So how do they have his biometric information to perfectly match a Hugh mask?
Yeah.
What? But I will give it credit. They upped the technology a little bit with the little electronic Band-Aid over the throat, because now we don't have to hear Tom Cruise do a terrible Southern accent.
Yes. Well, in the first movie, I thought it was so funny that most of the masks were just Tom Cruise in prosthetics. And then the only time they did a good one was when he goes from being John Voight to Tom Cruise.
But they don't explain his voice.
Right.
He just takes the mask off. So it's like, hey, Tom Cruise does an excellent John Voight impression.
Yeah. He didn't talk though. He just stands up silently, and she does all the talking, and he just kind of like nods or like looks at her, I think.
That's a hell of a plot hole. He doesn't talk. What was he going to do if she asked a question?
She says all the things, and then he goes up and takes off his mask. So that's how they got around that one. But then they thought for this one, they're like, hey, we need to actually have technology.
An explanation. Can you get a clear Band-Aid and just put a bunch of electronic crap on it to make it look cool?
Fancy. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I like that it changed the voice and also changed the accent.
Yeah. They didn't have to do anything to make that accent happen.
No, and those were some thick accents. All right. Anything else on the didn't like?
I don't think so. I think we've
beat this one.
I think we did it.
Ground. Favorite characters?
I didn't have any in this movie. I was like, I was even looking to Luther to like come through, and like I still like him, but I feel like his presence wasn't as big as it was in the first movie,
right?
And like even the other guy,
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, like he was there, and like they had some fun interactions, but they just didn't stand out.
He was the only one I liked in that. Truly, I can't really fault him at all. He makes a joke not understanding the situation where he says, "Wow, he really knows how to greet her."
Yeah,
which for not knowing the situation, good line when you're watching it. Yeah.
And then he like looks over to Luther and he's like, "Well, you too. You did a great job too." Like that.
I forgot that he saw them both looking at him kind of angrily, and he thought it was because he was saying Luther doesn't know how to greet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think if I had it, like that was probably one of my favorite like interactions.
Yeah, Luther and him were very funny together.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that with the melodrama that is Tom Cruise and Dougray Scott. I wouldn't say Naya's character really dove too deep into that melodrama.
Mm-hmm.
She just had bad lines sometimes.
Yeah.
It was good to have that humor. That humor really made it feel a little more real or a little more believable in some way, some odd way.
Mm-hmm.
This movie is doused in one-liners.
Yeah.
Doused. I don't know all of them are good, but there's a lot of them. One that stood out to me was Ethan, "I don't think I can get her to do it." Swanbeck, "You mean it'll be difficult?" Ethan, "Very." Swanbeck, "Well, this is not mission difficult, Mr. Hunt. It's mission impossible. Difficult should be a walk in the park for you." It was one of those things where I was like, damn, it's a dumb line, but it's a pretty good line.
Yeah. Also, the only time that they've actually called it Mission Impossible, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Which is funny because it's Impossible Mission.
Yeah.
What Force or whatever, IMF.
Yeah, he could have said, "It's not difficult missions, Mr. Hunt. It's impossible missions." But no, they had to name drop the franchise.
So that everyone does the Peter Griffin things like, they said it. They said it. Nothing else really. I mean, everything that Luther says is pretty good. Or that, you're right. I don't remember his name. Bradley?
His last name was Baird.
Billy.
Billy Baird.
Billy Baird. Bele. He was funny, but I don't.
Also forgettable. Like,
sadly.
I didn't remember when it was like, okay, who's his team in this one? Could not remember it. In the future movies, you think about who his team is. In the first movie, you think about who his team is. Like, it's easy to remember. Like, okay, Luther's there, and then like these other people that have memorable characters. Billy, if I watch this movie again, I won't remember him until he shows up, and I'll be like, oh yeah, there's an Australian guy.
Yeah, I forgot about him completely.
Yeah,
until I watched it, I was very surprised. Okay, here's something that I think is a way to describe how this movie's dialogue worked. So when we do these shows off camera, I have IMDb and Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes and Wikipedia and my bank. I don't know why, but
so you can see the money rolling in.
Yeah, there it is. But when we get to the quotes section, I usually open up the quotes, scroll through it to remind myself of the quotes. As I'm scrolling through this movie's quotes, I don't know if you have that up too. These are not memorable quotes.
Quotes.
These are just lines from the movie.
Yeah.
None of these are like, hold on. Luther, Ethan, Naya's in the building. Do you copy? Ethan, thank you. Cool. Awesome. Great. I'm glad you added that. It has the whole dial back and forth between McCloy and Ambrose when they're trying to make the deal.
Yeah.
There's no good line there. It's just that's a scene. That's a part of a scene. Yeah. The whole scene where they're talking on the radios and they're spying on Ambrose. They have the whole dialogue that they say on the radio. But there's no good line. There's no line that really sticks out. It's just literally the script.
Yeah.
I think Ambrose, they have one where he calls her the B word.
Yep.
Balls in your coat, Mr. Hunt. Went a little Sean Connery there. I'm sorry.
You did.
That's how it is. Say Ambrose's lines. In just a few hours. None of this. Yeah, it's all lame.
Well, I've heard all I need to hear. Like, okay, great. Yeah, there's not a lot of great dialogue in this one. I think we're going to start getting better stuff.
Luther, the satellite doesn't work as fast as I do. Wow. I'm really glad you included that.
Yeah.
So
even though there were some elements, I just remembered this. There were some elements that were weird that we mentioned between Naya and Ethan. I think their playful flirtation was like fun and believable.
Yeah, their chemistry
was
worked.
good, but it was apparently they invited her to come back to Mission Impossible 3, but she denied it. So we could have also had a world where
she was the wife
she
character.
Or at least an agent.
Dun,
anyway,
no wait, this is different. In the year 2000, and it did come out in the year 2000.
Hey, it did.
Now it's time for the review rewind. We take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where we fall. Now, this movie has a Metacritic review of 59%, a Rotten Tomato critic review of 56%, a Rotten Tomato audience review of 42%, and an IMDb audience score of 6.1. So they didn't like it.
Nope.
Technically, above 50 is considered not positive, but not negative. So you could argue that it's mixed, but it's pretty bad. People didn't like it.
Yeah, crazy that it is the highest or one of the highest grossing films and the worst rated out of all of them.
Highest grossing film and probably the biggest budget in advertisement. And that's probably what did it. Or maybe it was the first summer blockbuster of the new millennium, so that carried a lot of weight behind it too. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna see where we fall, but before we get to that portion, Tristan, why don't you go ahead and read the positive review, which this was one of the most positive reviews and you will read what the number is, and it's not that high.
The Washington Post gave it an 80. And it says, the real deity of the movie is director Wu, who takes complete command of the latest technology, hyperspeed editing, breathtaking cinematography, 10 out of 10 stunt work to create brilliant action sequences. I think when they say hyperspeed editing, they're talking about the technology to do the editing.
Right. Which that's what I would assume, but also, when did production start? Did they do it quickly? I'm just trying to.
When was I should know this. I went to film school.
Oh no, I don't know. It's not on the thing. When did MI2 start filming? Well, that's not helpful. Google's AI sucks. It's so bad. Because
it's dumb, and it'll give you the wrong answers sometimes too. It'll apparently it reads Reddit answers and will give those to you as facts, and it's like, no, that's just somebody on Reddit. Like, being an idiot.
Reddit is a cesspool. You can't read that. I mean, I'm on Reddit, but
okay,
that's beside the point. Anyway,
so if they're talking about like the technology of Final Cut Pro and like that era of editing, that came out in 98. So they could have taken advantage of that if they were filming and doing post-production in 99.
Yeah. Which maybe that's why they thanked Apple.
Yeah, probably. If Apple was a sponsor, they probably used Final Cut.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's that. It just feels like a weird, maybe there was an advertisement talking about it. We'd have to look. The internet's not that good at archiving that kind of stuff. Anyway. Now, on to the negative. This is from the Village Voice. There were a lot of negative reviews, but I thought this one was the funniest. So the Village Voice, they gave it a 30. A vaguely absurd epidemiological thriller filled with elaborately superfluous setups and shamelessly stale James Bond riffs. So it's very apt that you mentioned James Bond.
Yeah.
Because you weren't the only one who observed that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like it. And
yeah,
I don't fully disagree. So
I mean, it makes sense why this movie would try to do some James Bond things, because that was like the popular action spy flick of this time period.
Yeah. I mean, there were 3. That's a weird, let's see. 95, 97, 99. Yeah, there were 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had one more in 2002, which was real bad.
Yeah. That guy got diamonds in his face.
The old diamond face. Alrighty. Tristan, what do you give the movie?
I kind of struggled because I went in thinking, I remember this movie being bad, but I don't want that to like give me a bias about what my grade is going to be. Right. And I got to the end of it and I was like, I think it's this. And then I started thinking about like the bigger movie, and it changed it again. So I don't really even feel very good about this, but I think if I'm just rating the story, I'm giving it a D. But because of all the stuff that like really bugged me, it's an F.
Ooh.
Like I'm going harsh on this one.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not. yeah, I'm probably there with you in that you do not have to watch this movie to get anything from the rest of the series.
Mm-hmm.
This movie establishes nothing.
Yep.
This movie does nothing for Ethan's character. It does nothing for the world building. It does nothing for the secondary characters. It introduces a villain that will no longer be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
It introduces a secondary partner character who we never see again, so who gives a crap about him? It introduces a love interest who doesn't come back, so who gives a crap about her? It introduces an IMF boss that never returns again, so who cares about him? Oh my god! F. This movie does nothing.
It's nothing. Yeah. If you were to watch this franchise along with us or after we're done with all of these, you could skip this one and you wouldn't be missing anything. The only thing that this movie does that none of the other ones do is that it's the only one where Ethan actually goes on a mission that was assigned to him. And he it's the only one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and the movie is about that mission.
Sorry. Sort of. He goes on a mission that he was assigned, and the movie is the start and finish of that mission. He goes on many missions he was assigned throughout the series. They end up not mattering as much.
Yeah. This
by
is
the end of it.
This is the only movie where the mission that is assigned is what the movie is about.
Correct. Yeah, agreed. Even against the first one.
Yeah.
Because the first one is not that at all.
It kind of is.
Am I lowering the score of the first one too in my head? Because now if you think about it, the impossible aspects of the first one have nothing to do with the IMF. They make it impossible because they make it impossible. It is Mission Impossible due to their own choices, not because it's an actual impossible mission.
Oh, yeah. Because it's not a real mission. It's not a real mission.
Oh, my gosh. Wait. Is the worst movie out of all of them the only one that actually does the name of the film?
Like, does the thing that it's supposed to do?
That's so stupid.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. What a ridiculous thing. Yeah. This one sucked more than the first one, but the more you think about it, the more both of them are bad.
What did we give the first one? We gave it
a D.
A D.
Yeah. Because it was one of those, we gave it a D because, well, I'm sure if people are listening to the podcast back to back, what I'm going to say is wrong. But I feel like I remember we said, like, we're introduced to Ethan, but it doesn't really establish anything about Ethan. It's just kind of a hello. It's not really a, hey, we've established a character through this runtime.
Right.
And this movie, it tries to establish Ethan as something and fails to do it believably.
That's right.
So we understand, like, Ambrose is the bad agent and Ethan is the good agent. And we're supposed to believe that the whole way through because Ambrose does these nasty, terrible things and it seems like a horrible person. And Ethan is good, I guess. They don't really establish it too well. And then he has like an angel scene. And we're supposed to go like, bada bing, bada boom. This guy's good.
He's an angel.
He's an angel. But that's, yeah. Both of these don't establish the rest of the story. So we'll see how we feel next week for number 3.
I'm pretty sure it's uphill from here.
God, I hope so. I think we're going to have a lot of good things to say because Philip Seymour Hoffman is, we've talked about it off camera. He's insanely good. Like, he's so creepy. He's so good. He's a good bad guy. Yeah. I don't actually remember much about Ethan in number 3. I remember number 3 always put me off in the sense of I was always really it was really dark. The movie's really dark. There are really dark aspects to it. So I feel like it's going to take that thriller aspect and really lay into it and not as much the spy mystery movie. Yeah. And then it goes back the other side of the pendulum on the 4th and the rest of them. But yeah, you know,
I think the next one feels the least like the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah. I will also say I'm gonna bet it. I'm gonna write it down right here in the script that I copy. But lens flares.
Ooh, keep a count.
Yeah, we got to keep a lens flare count because it's freaking J.J. Abrams, and I just feel there is going to be a nauseating amount of lens flares. Anyway, I think we're good on the second one. I think that's it. I don't think there's much more to add. Skip it. The overall opinion is skip it. If you want to watch it, go ahead. This is my Fast and Furious speech. If you want to watch the first 3, go ahead. Do you need to watch the first 3? No. So Mission Impossible, do you need to watch the first 2? Absolutely not. You do not need to watch the first 2. You do need to watch the first 3 because they make reference of it in the 4th one. Well, now we got to pay attention to the 3rd one. Do they make reference to the previous? Because this one made no reference to the first one at all.
Yeah. This one made no reference. The next one, I'm just thinking about what I remember from the beginning of it, and it just feels like a completely different thing. So I don't know if they'll mention it or not.
Yeah. Now things to keep in mind. So if you're watching with us, keep those things in mind.
This is definitely the 3rd one moving forward.
Is Mission Impossible 1.
It's the one that you need to watch to understand references that are made later on.
Yes. Alrighty. Well, with that all said, we're done with the second one. John Woo, it was not a pleasure. I'm sure you're a cool guy. Actually, that's a weird assumption. You're probably a monster. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know Hollywood people.
More like John Boo.
Oh, shoot. Alrighty. Well, as we move on to the next one, you keep on rewinding those reviews. No, review your rewinds, and we'll see you next time. Dang it, I was so close
Almost
again.
Had it.